good when you're out here on the beach alone. But I'm not alone, am I? Because I have my loyal YouTube viewers watching. And I know you're watching because I turned the camera on and I uploaded the video. So I know you're there. Just a little bit of YouTube humor. Maybe it wasn't that funny. It's starting to get a little chilly out here and the sun's starting to go down. And I've tried to record this video about 20 times now. But I keep getting interrupted by people walking up and asking me what I'm doing. I keep getting interrupted by cars going by that are really loud. This road gets really busy when the sun starts to go down because a lot of people like to come out on the west coast and watch the sun set. And it's actually a pretty beautiful sunset they have out here on the beach. So let me try to get to the point, get this over with, and get it up on YouTube for you guys to watch. I basically just want to talk a little bit about the Wrangler and the current security situation that I have with it. Someone opened the top on it yesterday when I was in the local Publix doing some grocery shopping. It was dark out when I went in there, so I guess they figured that they could probably try to get away with something by opening up the top real quick and seeing what's in there. Luckily for me, I have everything secured. I have a Rubbermaid, I think it's a 30-gallon Rubbermaid storage bin in there that's bolted down to the ground. And it has a padlock on it. They hit the padlock, they found that it was locked, they didn't go any further. I mean, of course, if they had some type of crowbar or, bike chain cutter or something like that, they could have got into it, but just a little bit of time that I'm in a store, they don't have that kind of time. So the security that I have in place is working. I have a cooler on that new rack that I built for the back of the Jeep. And I ran basically one of the wire, cars are loud, I'm sorry, I keep stopping. But I ran a wire cable through the cooler, around the rack, up through the spare tire, around the rack again, and put a lock on it. So without destroying this cooler, or the tire, or the rack, no one's going to get it. And by the time they get it off of there, it's not going to be worth anything to anybody anyways. Now if they do happen to steal the cooler, open it up, it does have locks on it, but if they open it up, all they're going to get is old food. So they're not going to get away with a whole lot. If they get into the container on the inside of the Jeep, they're not going to get a whole lot either. Basically just clothes, maybe a couple of dishes. I have a couple bottles of propane in there and my propane stove that I'm now using. I always swore up and down I'd never use propane because I have the electric stuff, but I've found over the past couple of weeks that the electric stuff I'm using just takes way too long to heat up. And it uses a lot of the battery. I've also been doing some reading that the batteries aren't supposed to be drained like that, so the constant draining that I'm putting on that battery every day using it to cook is probably destroying my battery. And since my Jeep is a 06 and it has the original battery in it, that's probably not going to last a whole lot longer. We're talking 16 years on one battery here so far. It is the original Mopar battery, so I guess, hey, go Mopar. One of the upgrades I plan on doing, I went on Facebook last night before I went to sleep, and I did some searching on Facebook Marketplace. I like that a little better than Craigslist. People seem to have lower prices on Facebook Marketplace. Craigslist seems to be where people just try to get every dollar they can for something, and sometimes the prices are more than something new. But on there I found a Jeep TJ, which is the year Wrangler that I have, 97 to 2006. It's a hardtop. Now he had the hardtop listed for $1,000, which is lower than what I see them for on Craigslist. On Craigslist I see them up to $1,400, $1,500. And I messaged this guy because I noticed that it was listed for over a month already. So I messaged him and I asked him, what the lowest he would go would be. I described my situation to him. He watched a couple of my videos, and he agreed to sell it to me this week for $450. So I'm going to be heading down there probably Saturday, sometimes between Saturday or Monday, to get the hardtop, and I'll be installing that. So that's going to be probably just my winter top. Once summer comes back around, I may throw the soft top back on there. I like driving topless. I'm sure you guys don't want to see me topless, but I like driving topless. So that's one of the major upgrades I plan on doing. I've already talked in one of my prior videos about doing a gear upgrade. The Jeep really can't handle a whole lot of highway driving right now unless I do at least 70 miles an hour. basically the overdrive was designed to kick on at 45, and at 45 miles an hour, when the overdrive kicks on, it drops down to 1200 RPMs, which is not near enough to keep up any kind of speed even on flat ground. The Jeep currently has 373s, and I plan on going to 488s, which will be actually a little higher than what I need. Supposedly for this Wrangler with the automatic transmission and tires that I have 33s, it should be 456s. But I'm taking into account that the transmission that's in this has a really, really high overdrive, which is, I believe, 0.67. So it's a higher than 1-to-1 gear ratio on that fourth gear, which is why now the engine won't even turn those tires once the overdrive kicks in. So I plan on doing the 488 gears. That's probably going to cost me somewhere around $1,500 to $2,000 because I plan on doing lockers at the same time. And then I'm going to actually hit the open road. Some other upgrades that I have planned. I will be buying one of the new generator inverters. And I know that it's kind of like two things in one. It's a generator and an inverter. But the difference between a generator and a generator inverter is the generator inverter puts out a clean, stable power. Generators, if you hook them to sensitive equipment like laptops, they have spikes. And those spikes can destroy sensitive equipment like laptops, cameras, if you're charging them on there. So you either need to use a generator to charge a battery bank, which I don't have room for, or use the generator with a charger to charge a battery, which I still don't have room for, or use the generator itself to charge the equipment. So once I get the generator inverter on the back rack, I will build some type of box, and I'm thinking Harbor Freight has what they call trailer tongue boxes. Now, they're not the most robust things in the world, but people really can't see inside of them, and you can still put a chain around them. So that even if they do break the measly little lock on the front of it, which it's an okay lock, it's kind of like a screen door lock. It works, but it's not going to stop somebody that really wants to get in there. I'm going to have basically some hinges welded to the rack where I can wrap a cable lock around the hinges, through the tongue trailer box, and up around the tire carrier. Harbor Freight sells, I believe, up to 14-foot cable locks. So I'll be using one of those and probably put 2 locks on it to lock it together. Nothing's impossible for somebody to break into or steal if they really want to, but I sleep in this thing, I eat in this thing. The only time I'm away from it is when I'm filming for you guys, and I'm usually not too far. It's usually within view. Yesterday, somebody's revving their engine, and it's going to be a little hard for you guys to hear me when he does that, so I'll have to pause. And this is probably like the, I don't know, 8th time I've tried recording this video. If people see me recording, they come up and ask what I'm doing. Or some people that are driving by, they see me recording, stop and rev their engines up, and try to, I guess, get me to turn the camera and film them as well, get their few minutes of fame. I don't mind it. It's all part of the whole YouTube experience, but it's some of the stuff that you guys don't see off camera. It's how much time we actually have to put into filming video and editing this video. I think last night I had 4 hours of video footage and ended up only posting 25 minutes or 24 minutes of it. And a lot of that was even fast forwarded. So I talked about the generator inverter, I talked about the hardtop, I talked about the gears. I also have the lockable storage container on the inside of the Jeep, and I'll be finding a way to make that a little more secure as well. I may have some angle iron welded in with basically a hinge that will drop the angle iron down over top of the lid of the container that I have in there, which will allow me to drop a padlock through the angle iron, and you'll have to actually break the angle iron to get the lid open on the container. Other than that, basically just my personal security items. I have my concealed carry. I think a fish just jumped out there behind me. I don't know if you guys caught that on camera or not. But I do have my personal concealed carry weapon, which is a 40 caliber Versa Thunder Pro. I don't carry 9mm. I love 9mm, but for where I go and where I stay, sometimes in the woods, I don't want something that small. If a bear comes after me, I want at least a 40 caliber. Sometimes I carry my 1911, my 45. When I'm not carrying these weapons, they stay with my father here in Florida, which is over toward Orlando. So it's a little bit of a drive if I decide to switch out my weapon. Or if something happens and malfunctions and I need my other weapon, it's a little bit of a drive to get it. About 2 hours from here. I carry at least one type of tactical flashlight, which has, 3 different modes: strobe, high, low, and a wide angle mode. This type of tactical flashlight actually has ridges on the end of it. Actually, both ends. This one does. This one's a J5 tactical light. I think you can pick them up on Amazon for about $10. And a lot of people don't realize what those little ridges at the end of a flashlight are for. But basically, once you blind someone with a flashlight in the dark, the ridges are just sharp enough where if you hit them on the bone, it will probably fracture the bone. So it basically doesn't kill somebody, but it renders them useless. I also carry my survival bracelet, which has a bottle cap opener, a fire starter, and a whistle, and it's also got a 25-foot of paracord on it. I know I'm talking a little fast here, but I hear some people walking up on me, and I'm trying to get this video done before they come up and start asking me questions, and I got to record it all again. My laptop is not charged right now, so for tonight, it's not going to be charged, and I don't have anything to edit with. So I'm trying to get this all in one big go. I carry 2 extra magazines. My Burst of Thunder 40 holds 13 rounds, so I have a 13-round magazine in the firearm, and then I have 2 13-round magazines on my side. I also carry a cutting tool in my wallet, so in case someone does sneak up on me, I don't have time to draw my weapon, and I have to take my wallet out to hand it to them. They usually ask for the cash or anything out of the wallet, don't want the whole wallet. So when I'm reaching in for the cash, there's actually like a little credit card sized defensive device in there that I'll be using. And there's a big truck approaching, so once again I'll pause. Alright, sorry about that. Waiting for him to leave here. Okay, so the credit card device, it has serrated edge, it has a sharp edge, and then it has some like various wrench tools and stuff like that on it, but it's very handy. One of the viewers that is actually watching, I don't know if he's subscribed yet or not, but he saw my situation, he saw that I am an NRA member, he is also an NRA member, and he has recently come across this new type of hat that the Israeli military industries has put out, and basically it looks like a regular hat. And when you go to put your hands up for someone, sticking you up or robbing you, your thumb is very close to the brim of the hat. But when you reach under the brim, you can pull out a device that is actually, it's plastic, but it's really hard plastic. And it's kind of made like an Israeli knife. I forget what they're called. But basically what this thing does is it allows you to apply a lot of pressure to pressure points. And those pressure points will render you harmless to someone if hit properly. So basically, other items that I carry on me, I carry a couple of items on my key ring that can be used for defense. I'm not going to show you because they're handmade, and I'm trying to get a patent on one of them right now. It is a neat little defensive device that I designed, so if I get the patent, then I will show it on video. I'm always wearing some type of t-shirt that's comfortable, sometimes long sleeve pocketed shirts like Dickies or something like that, where I can fit various stuff in. And I'm usually wearing some type of tactical pants. I don't know if you can see them in the video. And tactical boots. The current boots I'm wearing right now are 511s. And they're pathogen proof and all that stuff. Guys, I'm here. I'm editing the video. I have just enough power left on my laptop to get enough video editing done to at least make this video decent. I've got about 10 minutes to try to get this done. Just wanted to let you guys know that I had to cut that video really short after 3 hours of continuously trying to record it with the interruptions and the noises. I just said the heck with it, ended the video. I'm gonna edit it best I can right now.
And since I cut it short, I'm going to show you guys some footage of this osprey. I mean, this thing had like a 3-foot wingspan, and it come from the ocean side, flew up over the Jeep Wrangler, right over the hood, and he only missed my jack by about 4 inches. But the amazing thing is that this osprey was carrying a fish that was probably about 16 inches long. I mean, this fish must have weighed every bit of 3 to 5 pounds, and this osprey lifted it up to the top of this pole like nothing. So I hope you guys enjoy this short video of the osprey and some pictures that I got earlier today of me eating on the beach and such. But anyways, here's the pictures and the footage of the osprey, and I hope you guys enjoy it.